5 remarkable cities that are improving around the world. The places that are aiming for a more sustainable and low-carbon future can be found thanks to the Global Destination Sustainability Index. Implementing solutions for a more sustainable, lower-carbon future is crucial as time runs out to reduce global warming to 1.5°C, over which experts say could result in considerably hotter days, rising sea levels, and the destruction of nearly all of the world's coral reefs. Furthermore, certain locations seem to be more adept at this than others. In order to identify the world's most sustainable cities, the most recent Global Destination Sustainability Index considers 69 variables, including recycling rates, air pollution levels, the number of bike routes, and the proportion of hotel rooms that are certified eco-friendly. The index is a useful tool for both travelers seeking to select a sustainable destination and prospective residents hoping to settle in an eco-friendly city, as it considers data that impacts city dwellers in addition to tourism industry recognition for sustainability commitments. These are 5 of the best-performing cities. Sweden's Gothenburg. The Swedish city has impeccable credentials, as evidenced by its top ranking on the Global Destination Sustainability Index. The second largest city in Sweden has topped the index year between 2016 and 2021, been recognized by Lonely Planet as the world's most sustainable place to stay in 2021, and committed to becoming one of the 100 EU cities by 2022 that aim to be carbon neutral by 2030. Harriet Pickering and her family moved to a little town outside of Gothenburg a year ago from Yorkshire, UK, and since then, they have observed the Swedish city's dedication to sustainability in their daily lives. Consider how they now travel. Although her spouse is an enthusiastic cyclist, he discovered that riding in the UK is more challenging due to traffic and a lack of bike paths. I doubt that we would have ever used a bicycle to bring our youngsters. It wouldn't have seemed secure enough, according to Pickering. However, we carry it out here. There are many bike trails and cyclists around. She went on to say that they've even purchased an electric car, in part due to the abundance of charging stations in the vicinity. However, Gothenburg is reducing the carbon footprints of both its citizens and visitors in other ways as well. Electric buses are among the 95% of the city's public transportation fleet that is powered by renewable energy. 9 out of 10 of its hotel rooms are environmentally certified, and the airport has achieved one of the highest levels of certification from the Airport Carbon Accreditation Scheme, demonstrating its commitment to monitoring, reducing, and offsetting carbon emissions. Even its music festivals, which can be significant contributors to CO2 emissions, make an effort to lessen their impact. Way Out West, for example, became the first music festival in history to receive a sustainable certification in 2013 by serving only vegetarian food, selling repurposed clothing as merchandise, and forgoing single-use plates and silverware. Living in this atmosphere, according to Pickering, has not only encouraged her family to make more environmentally friendly decisions now, but she also hopes that her kid will be influenced by it in the future. He'll just grow up with certain things being the norm, she added. So, when he's an adult, he won't think twice about things like electric vehicles or recycling. That will just be part of his normal. Norway's Oslo. As the runner-up and the second of 8 Nordic towns to rank in the top 10, Oslo was also designated as the 2019 European Green Capital. Paradoxically, Norway consistently receives high grades for its environmental pledges, despite its reliance on gas and oil for economic growth. The capital of Norway, Oslo, should understand this as well. If you stroll through Oslo, you will see this dedication. The city has installed electric scooters, 5,000 electric vehicle charging stations, and 270 city bike stations for transportation purposes alone. Then there's the city's actual greenness. 63% of the municipality is forested. City parks and green spaces account for an additional 9%. However, a lot of the sustainability efforts have been done in the background, according to Ansine Fagereng, marketing manager of Visit Oslo, the tourism organization for Oslo. We do green nudging with the tourists that come here, she explained. You won't notice that we term everything sustainable or that we plaster a ton of green leaves all over our website. However, we strive to make the more sensible decisions the more default choices, if you will. The website features eateries such as Michelin-starred Maemo for its ecological practices, and lodging such as the Thon Hotel Astoria, an eco-certified low-cost hotel that reduces its carbon footprint through the use of renewable energy. Aside from creating its own standards for establishments to be awarded the Visit Oslo Responsibly label, Visit Oslo also offers resources, such as its Green Guide, specifically designed for travelers who wish to give priority to sustainable travel choices. The tourism board is applying the same ideas offline. If a tourist asks at the tourist office for help getting from point A to point B, the employees will first give them information regarding public transportation, according to Fagereng. For the travel industry, the tourism board has also created a course on sustainable business practices, including subjects like cutting down on wood waste and minimizing noise pollution. Fagereng is realistic about the difficulties. For example, it is nearly hard to argue that travel anyplace is a sustainable option, as long as flying is still required to get there. She is upbeat, though. The travel business as a whole is unsustainable. However, we are genuinely working extremely hard to move in that direction, she remarked. Tourism can be a force for good. Scotland's Glasgow's Gaelic name Glashu, meaning grey-green hollow, alludes to the city's environmental past. The Scottish city, which was founded some 1,500 years ago, is ranked first in the UK and 8th globally on the Global Destination Sustainability Index. It has been in the top 10 every year since 2016. Kathy Kamleitner, originally from Vienna, believes it's clear that steps have been taken towards a more sustainable future even since she moved to Glasgow 10 years ago. To reduce air pollution, the city, for instance, implemented a low-emission zone in 2023 that limits which cars are allowed entry into the center. Smart, LED lighting and electric vehicle charging stations have been constructed, while initiatives to promote cycling, such as new bike routes and bike rental programs, have also been observed. Not every execution was flawless. Occasionally, it seemed as though someone who doesn't really ride a bike was hired to build a bike lane, laughed Kamleitner. But overall, I think it's good to see more of that infrastructure coming into place. According to Kamleitner, Glasgow also represents its standing as a green city. Her home is on the outskirts of the city and overlooks a forest, but Glasgow boasts more than 90 parks even in the middle of the city. Although neighborhood differences exist, 8 out of 10 youngsters in Glasgow reside 400 meters or less from a public green area. Nevertheless, the city has challenges. In contrast to her previous residences in Berlin and Vienna, Kamleitner claims that public transportation in Glasgow is less widespread and more costly. She isn't shocked, though, by Glasgow's constant success. She claims that a lot of stuff is determined by the attitudes of the locals. For instance, there are more community hubs for product lending or repair, demonstrating the growing popularity of circular economy initiatives. I see a lot of social enterprises and a lot of businesses really pursuing that sustainability aspect and making it easier to meet more sustainable choices, she stated. And that's certainly something I've seen in Glasgow, more maybe than even in some of the other cities I've lived in. France's Bordeaux is known for its gorgeous architecture and drinkable wine, but the French city also has another reason to adore it. It is working toward a more sustainable future. Bordeaux is the third most sustainable destination on TripAdvisor and appears in the top 10 of the Global Destination Sustainability Index. There are indications of these initiatives everywhere you look in the city. Self-service V3 bikes, electric buses, trams, and even river shuttles are available for getting around the city, and there are plenty of zero-kilometer eateries and thrift shops. Bordeaux's tourist bureau, along with almost 3/4 of its vineyards and 1/3 of its tourism businesses, is eco-certified. Even the Bordeaux Wine Festival, which takes place this year from June 27th to 30, is making an effort to reduce its carbon footprint. It has been eco-certified since 2021, composts food waste, doesn't sell plastic products, and tracks and reports on its emissions annually. However, Bordeaux's Tourism Bureau Director Olivier Ocelli says the city has much bigger goals in mind. By 2026, 80% of the city's tourist industry's stakeholders, from lodging facilities to travel agencies, are expected to have earned eco-certification. Sustainability is one major strategy that we have to focus on for the years to come, he stated. We know that global warming is here, and all the economic sectors need, in that sense, to take care of our future and of the planet. Of course, there is still a lot of work to be done in all the cities on the list. According to Ocelli, one of the things he and his colleagues are considering is how to lessen the carbon footprint of the actual trip to Bordeaux. After all, a short stay of 1 or 2 nights is more carbon intensive than a longer stay. He stated, "We need to work on that. And if someone is coming for 2 days' work, for example, we really have to say, okay, you stay 2 days for work, but stay 3 more days to visit the city, see the vineyards, and to take public transportation within the city." Which doesn't seem like such a penalty in light of everything Bordeaux has to offer. South Korea's Goyang, South Korea, which ranks 14th on the list and is the highest-ranking city outside of Europe, is the result of intensive efforts by the tourism sector to enhance its green credentials. Goyang, which is close to Seoul, was the first South Korean city to sign up for the Global Destination Sustainability Index in 2017. The index named it the most improved destination for the subsequent year. Since then, it has been moving up the GDSI ranks. It received its first ISO 20121 sustainability certifications in 2022, mostly because of its conferences and events. Rainwater is now recycled for the Convention Exhibition Center's plants, pond, and restrooms. There are 68 parks in the city proper, along with a bike-sharing program. According to Peter Lee, General Director of the Goyang Convention and Visitors Bureau, actively and continuously pursuing sustainability in a small regional city with significantly limited manpower and budget compared to international cities was no easy feat. Lee claims that the city offers excellent environmental conditions, with almost 1,000 hectares of green and blue, parks and water, per 100,000 people and 424 kilometers of bike lanes, aside from measures like the convention center's attempts to reduce its carbon impact. It is a livable city where rural and urban areas are well harmonized, and it boasts top-notch environmental policies and practical measures within South Korea, Lee stated.